Thank you, Agustin, for joining us here. And maybe you can introduce yourself and tell us who you are.
Sure. Thanks for the invite, Andre. My name is Agustin. I'm the co-founder of Erlab. Erlab is a agency that builds digital products for companies all around the world.
Okay.
On my side, I'm also a EO member for 3 years. I'm currently in different positions. In my country, I'm the incoming president, an actual incoming virtual learning president. So a lot of pressure on virtual learning for the coming 2 years based on this COVID situation. Uh, I'm about my academic background. I'm a graphic designer.
Got it. Okay. And now you're in Argentina, and maybe you can tell us a little bit more about the ground level perspective, what you see uh, there, in terms of business climate and even daily life in Argentina during this COVID crisis.
Sure thing. Well, the thing here, as many third world countries, is that a lot of companies, especially in Argentina, because we have been suffering a great devaluation for the past 2 years. The business owner basically they don't have runway. So the average runway here is, let's say, 1 month. So that doesn't give you a lot of time to recalculate. And this situation, the COVID situation, since it was a hard stop for a lot of companies, has really taken a toll in all the aspects you can picture. And here the government doesn't move as fast as they could do it. So they are trying to catch the speed between the healthy laws they develop and the work laws they are like developing right now. So right now they're just releasing future aid regarding work, like covering some employee expenses, giving some money for the people that are unemployed. Um, they are like postponing taxes, deferring payments. So they are doing that right now, and we have been in quarantine for 1 month already. So that was really hard for a lot of entrepreneurs and companies here. Of course, the big winners are the digital companies or the companies around food, for example, pre-meal food, or you have companies around like e-commerce sales. It doesn't matter if it's fashion or other things, they are doing pretty well. And the most suffering industry here are everything related to construction. This is really hard to get the habilitation to keep working with the right healthy measures. And yeah, any public company that develops things for the city or let's say steel, logistic services, those are really hard. Of course, hotels and tourism is one of the biggest losses here.
Right. Now, would you say that Argentina is kind of in the same boat as other Latin American countries, or do you feel that kind of the different policies or different governments make a difference in this case?
Uh, it depends on the in the lens that you will see this, because the good thing about Argentina is that in fact the World World Health Organization said Argentina is one of the countries in the 10 shortlist of countries that are doing the things in the right way regarding the COVID measures.
Mhm.
We were very early in taking healthy measures to avoid this crisis. My my thought on that is that our health system is not prepared. If we have a really exponential case or spread of the COVID-19, it will be chaos here. So we were very, very good at developing early stage healthy measures to be really like supporting the people here, supporting the long term. But regarding, as I told you, business-wise proposals, we have a slow pace in that. So it depends on the lens you will see it. If you are thinking in taking care of everybody and try to reduce the amount of people infected by the virus and like reduce the casualties in the future, yes, we are good. Regarding economic solutions, we are way back on that.
I see. I see. Okay. Um, and as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, whether it's through this current crisis or maybe different crises or different emergencies that you faced before, what's that one big decision that you've made and can advise other entrepreneurs and other business owners that they should consider very strongly?
Yeah, sure. Well, in our case, we follow the typical like handbook for COVID. A lot of ventures have developed, like Sequoia, for example, Sequoia Capital. So we try to reduce as many cost or fixed cost we have to try to keep them as lower as possible. We adjust the sales plan for the future. We develop a few simulations trying to see what will happen if we lower our pricing model. So to try, in the worst case, to cover costs and don't have a profit on that, but it's just a simulation. So we can be prepared in case of that happens to be like moving to different scenarios if we start to if we start to lose sales in the future. We keep on our regular plan of giving raises, salary raises, bonus. So we didn't remove that from the people because we need to stay them motivated and of course have the right amount of money in their pockets in this situation that have a lot of a personal toll on everyone. We are really making an effort to in culture. You're like the CNN guy from the news.
Hold on, we'll have to. Actually, I'm on the phone, so sorry about that. We'll have to edit this out. By the way,
it's a good
yeah.
blooper.
Yeah.
You can leave it for me, like yeah.
But just start from your last point there. I think you talked about cash flow, and we can just splice it together.
Yeah, sure. One of the things we did is like to simulate the pricing model for the future, so we could know if we have to lower our price, how lower we can go on that. Like what will be the lowest price to cover the cost and then have a profit on that. Just to be prepared in the worst case that contracts will be canceled or or sales funnel will be empty. Because the last thing we want to touch is runway. We are a really healthy company regarding runway. We have more than 10 months of runway. We really have a foot on the future, but we don't want to like take that. That's like for super last is the last thing we want to touch.
Right. You want to be conservative. Yeah.
Yeah. And we are really working hard in the culture. We are really trying to stay connected because we went from 0 to 100, like regarding from a little bit of remote work to 100% remote, as much companies are struggling with that. So we are really like trying to keep everyone connected. We are using a few like Slack plugins that match you with different team members to grab a coffee of 15 minutes, a virtual coffee. So people that doesn't knew other people are really like now connecting and getting to know everybody in the company. We're trying to like having lunch together at least one time per week. So we're really strong with that because in our case we didn't have to take hard measures on firing people or don't give in raises. So because we are a healthy company, but that's the things that we are really dealing with, trying to keep our actual clients as happy as they could be, like trying to being over delivering if we need to, like not just give the the request they want. We're trying to over deliver and give them more because we want them to keep them happy,
Mhm.
and be really careful about the incoming leads. We are really taking our time to understand the current the incoming leads and help them like to develop proposals and keep selling, because it's important to be more boutique on this situation,
Right.
basically.
Okay. Good. So is there anything that I didn't ask that I should have asked you that you want to share with other people?
Well, I know that it's a difficult moment for everyone in a global scale. It's for me it's really shocking uh, how people are turning into numbers. Sometimes you see the amount of infected people or the amount of diseased people, and they are just numbers. And is really hard because behind those numbers are families and a lot of people involved. So I know it's a hard time for everyone. People have a roller coaster of emotions. They're really trying to keep the healthy and 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 at the same time as entrepreneurs holding our companies, like thinking on the in the global health of our employees, because we have this commitment to them and to their families. So um, it's a good time to be thankful for what we are doing and for the other people that are helping us in our businesses, to listen, to be more respectful, to have more patience about people, don't push them too hard. And I think it's a good time to try to think in opportunities to keep them motivated and to take a pause from the day to day. So for example, one thing we are doing that was really good for a company is we are giving each employee 2 weeks of free time and some budget to get together with other people in the company and build products, open source products for this. So it's like it's a double upside benefit, because from one side they're taking some mental time off from this, from their day by day work,
Mhm.
and at the same time they're building things that are willing to help the Commonwealth. For example, right now we're going to launch a platform to match young people with people that have these capacities and it's older and they need help in buying for them groceries and doing some how to say it, doing some things for them because they are a risk population. So we are using sense data from our city to identify parts of the city that have more density of people in risk age and match them with people younger to help them. So that kind of things, we did that in less than 1 week because it's just try to
Huh.
match an idea or try to um, map the local businesses, a small business around like grocery stores and have visibility of them, trying to digitalize them and put their WhatsApps in an online map so that people have more access to that. So there are tiny things that could have that benefit. So for me, it's like to try, of course, try to focus on your company and your employees because you have a commitment with them, but also take a step back and see the big picture and do something for the Commonwealth, because in the future you're going to ask yourself what you did, and you're going to be your best and your most bad judge about that. So it's a
Right.
good opportunity to do some well.
Okay. All right. Well, Agustin, thank you for becoming our guest here, and thank you for spending some time with me. I
Thanks for the invite.
really I really appreciate it. Yeah. All right.
Augustine is the co-founder of Aerolab, a digital product agency that is working to create a simpler world through changing the way people interact with digital products. He's also a designer, entrepreneur, and mentor. Design is a powerful tool that can solve complex problems. Aerolab takes the user's perspective and asks what would be valuable for them. Their team of more than 60 talented people work daily on user research, product strategy, UX, UI design to craft high-quality digital products. From mobile apps and websites to branding, they create designs that transform knowledge into opportunity. Augustine believes strongly that design has the potential to shape reality. For this reason, he's committed to making the strongest positive impact possible by finding the best way to put design and technology to use.